What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pat and Dan Show. As usual, I'm Patrick Hennessy. To my right is Dan Allen. Rourke, how are we doing tonight, Dan?
Long time no see, bro. How are you? I'm good, by the way. I didn't even answer your
Li-
question. Rough start.
Listen, I
I'm
can't
doing
complain as
good.
usual. You know what? Can
How's
we address one thing?
I was gonna ask you a question first, but yeah.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, can we address the fact that you adjusted your camera angle like within the last 2 minutes? It was completely different.
Because I'm on my desktop now. Does it look bad?
No,
I
it's
was on my
fine.
desktop and half of it was kind of off my table, and that freaks me out. I could move it back if you want,
No,
but
it's fine.
I'm gonna be no. Oh, you want to get the play button in? That's why.
I thought it was like a nice little scenery in the background, but that's fine.
Okay, fine.
All right, what was your question?
Well, I was gonna ask how your off season's going.
Oh, my off season's okay. Chad, how's your off season going, dude? I'm gonna be honest with you. I was appreciating the postseason, up until now, because now we got two championship series matchups that I'm not too keen on, bro. We're looking at Astros, Red Sox, and then we're also looking at Braves, Dodgers. Every team that I was rooting for is eliminated, so now it's kind of just whatever, you know.
Yeah, bro. This is the most I've watched the postseason post Yankees being eliminated in probably my entire life. I've decided what I want. I want a Dodgers Astros World Series because that would be pretty cool. To let the Dodgers get their revenge. I can kind of live through the Dodgers in that moment against Houston. You know what I mean?
No, see, I'm
that'd be
not.
cool.
Dude,
really?
I want the Braves to win it all. Just because I want a fresh face. I want a nice fresh face to just win all. I'm tired of the monotonous series, but whatever. Today, kind of what we're going to talk about, because this is the first episode back since the Yankees did get eliminated. Bro, the last episode we did was a wild card preview where we were kind of hopping on here. We were so confident. Bro, super reminiscent of 2018. Remember when we were at the wild card game? We're bro, we're going to sweep the Boston Red Sox. We're so confident. We were so confident going into that wild card game. Yankees got absolutely demolished, I guess. And we thought we were going to be doing Pat and Dan Show, ALDS, ALCS, and we just didn't. So now here we are. Before we break that all down, let's take attendance/roll call. You guys know the deal. Let's start from the top, bro. Let's see who we got in here. We got D&E Show, aka Amy. We got Matt, Jared, Will Smith. Will Smith times 2. Is he Fresh Prince or is he on the Dodgers?
It's Will Smith, bro. Not even Will Smith. Will Smith.
Oh my, yo! I didn't even realize that. We got Action Figure Nerd, AJ, Jose, Hector, Conrad, JS, Not So Fun, Family Vision. Appreciate you all so much for stopping by. I wish I could name everybody, but you know what? I just can't. Yo, also appreciate Derek with a $5 donor. You're the man. He says, I want the Dodgers to win back-to-back titles with the highest payroll. Might inspire Hal. I completely disagree. I don't think the Dodgers winning would do anything for the Yankees. Like I said, I want the Braves to win the World Series. I want a new fresh face. I want to see some fresh faces kind of on the brightest stage. Also, let's not forget, bro, the Braves had a 3-1 lead in the NLCS last year. I'm such a loser. I was up until 4 a.m. last night, watching past postseason highlights. I was watching the 2020 NLCS highlights, and Nick Markakis, dude, I forgot he existed.
I like Nick Markakis. I thought you were gonna say past Yankees postseason highlights. Bro, no, I can't watch them anymore. What? No, in general, yo, it's just the amount of times, or the amount of times I've watched postseason highlight compilations. Bro, I can just replay it in my head. It's just engraved into my brain. So,
but isn't that sad?
And it's too sad. No, that's another part of it too. It's sad.
Yeah, it's really sad because going into this year's postseason, kind of that last couple weeks before the season ended, dude, I was literally watching back the Yankees postseason highlights. And kind of just yo, I can't wait to see what kind of highlights we're going to get this year, right? Didi's big home run, Gary's big double, Judge's home run, just literally massacring the Twins. I'm what are we going to get this year? And we ended up literally getting 0 postseason highlights. Bro, we don't have a single one. Maybe Rizzo's home run, Stanton's home run. That's it.
Just it's Stanton's ball up until in his first inning double or single, actually. That up until it hit the wall, Rizzo's homer, Stanton's other ball off the wall, and then up until Judge gets thrown out. That was and obviously all the hype leading up to it. Yeah, bro. And I just realized this is our first time talking about it, right? Have I been on since the
No, this is the first episode since the Yankees have been eliminated.
What was I about to say? What really sucks is that we didn't get nothing at home. It would have even been just that much better if we still only got that Rizzo homer. But if it was at home, just to see one more home run, Yankee postseason home run in the Bronx. That would have been cool, but we didn't get it. So
I just wanted a special moment, bro. I just wanted to see the fans in the crowd in the Bronx just cheering the team on. But listen, we kind of recap the wild card game a little bit. The Yankees lost. That's really it. And that was kind of the culmination of a very just roller coaster of a season, just frustrating year all around. And I just hate the fact that they gave us so much faith, like towards the end, right? And I think we were kind of just blind to the fact that the Yankees only really made the postseason because of Stanton and Judge, especially like on that road trip where they went, 5-1, I think, against the Red Sox and Blue Jays, which was kind of the sole reason they were even playing in the wild card game. And then once Stanton and Judge weren't really producing all of the team's runs, they were not good. And I think we kind of just were kind of too blind to realize that at the time. But I don't know, dude. I say overall, disappointing season 100%. They have a lot of things that they need to address in the offseason. But I think it's just safe to say that that was not the ending that we were expecting, right? And even while watching the Walker game, I was just like, yo, like it doesn't feel right to see the season end like this, right? Like it just doesn't feel like the end. After everything that this team has been through this year, you go into that one-game wild card in Boston after walking into Boston the week before and sweeping them, and they literally just laid down and died.
Yeah, bro. Like I always say that like you make the wild card game, that means like you did make the postseason. And the Yankees, yes, they did technically make the postseason this year, but it really feels like they weren't even in it. And I think also the fact that it wasn't at home contributes to that. Like it hardly even feels like we made the postseason this year, even though we did. And for me, and I kind of disagree on what you said. Like I do think this team was good enough to make a run at the World Series. I mean, I think they're just as good as the Red Sox, if not better. And you see the Red Sox, I mean, there's a chance to get past Houston, get into the World Series. So for me, that's what makes it even more sad. You know, like this team, you know how the postseason is, yo. Like you win a game, win 2 games, win a series, catch fire. Like all of a sudden, yo, like you could be in the World Series and then win it. So I mean, I still believe like in terms of talent, I think that this past team was best. Maybe I guess 2019 would still outbeat, but like if Gerrit Cole was Gerrit Cole, then I think this team was the most talented roster that we've had in this core. So yeah, I mean, all that just makes it all the more sad.
Yeah, I mean, listen, one thing I do want to kind of address, which I think is a big reason why the Yankees lost, was the fact that Gerrit Cole, like towards the end of the season, especially after the hamstring injury, he just wasn't himself. And I'm on the boat where I think 1000% the hamstring injury was the cause of Gerrit Cole's struggles toward the end of the year. I mean, dude, I think all the people spewing like that spider tag narrative, they're just stupid, and casual. Like it just literally doesn't make any sense. Because if you take his numbers from the spider attack ban to the injury, they were still very good. They weren't like elite Gerrit Cole numbers because he was still trying to like work his way through, I guess, but he was still very good. So anybody who I put a tweet out today just because it was really bothering me because I'm still seeing like Gerrit Cole slander on my timeline as far as like, yo, someone posted a picture of him at like some red carpet thing or something. And literally all the comments were from Yankee fans, literally just bashing the dude for choking in October. Okay, first of all, injured hamstring. If you didn't want Gerrit Cole to pitch and you would have preferred Nestor Cortez on the mound, I'm sorry. I would have much rather lost that game with Gerrit Cole than with Nestor. Because let's just say we threw Nestor out for the wild card game, right? Because Cole maybe wasn't 100%. And Nestor gave up 4 runs in the first inning. Do you realize how much worse we would have felt going into the offseason thinking like what could have been with our actual ace on the mound?
I mean, yeah, like there's no
Like
way you could have
hindsight's always
started.
2020,
You couldn't have started anybody but Gerrit Cole in that game. And you know, as long as you know Gerrit Cole's healthy, and that's what he said that he was healthy. Like you start him and you expect a good performance out of him. I'll say this. Now, I mean, like I've eased up on Gerrit Cole. Like I think fans they have his like they have the right to be like pissed off still, you know, like and to be frustrated about it. But like anybody that's saying like they regret the contract or like it's a bad deal for the Yankees now, like that's dumb. Like this dude is still our ace, and you mentioned it. Like, yeah, I mean he wasn't as consistent after, but like yo, he had some dominant games post Spider Tech, like the
Yeah.
Houston game. He had multiple like
Probably his
7,
best
8
start
inning
as a Yankee.
performances. Yeah, and yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, like regular season for sure.
Yeah. And then he also had that great start against the Angels.
Yeah, we're stuck at like 15. So I mean, like, I'm not worried about Gerrit Cole and like without Spider Tech long term. I think like if we know how smart he is as a pitcher, like he'll just take this entire offseason to get, and that's what the real issue was. Like, if you want to like point it to Spider Tech being the issue, it happened in the middle of the season, yo. Like right smack, what June 13th it was. So
Yeah.
now Cole will have the entire offseason to like figure it out, get more consistent with it, and like I would assume he's going to be the favorite going into next year to win the Cy Young in the American League still. Like,
I would say so.
so it's Gerrit Cole's contract was still 100% worth it. But at the same time, you can still be frustrated about the wildcard game. Like, if you say you're healthy, then okay, we got to assume you're healthy. And Cole, like, he did shit the bed, but that doesn't all of a sudden mean he's like a disgrace
I
to like
agree.
the fans. Or
1000%.
he
But
shouldn't
like,
be.
bro, a lot of like takes that people have on this is like if Cole knew that he wasn't healthy, then he should have said something and like not stepped on the mound. I don't think I necessarily agree with that. Like, I kind of give Cole props that, like, even though he might not have been 100%, the fact that he still, like, needed that ball, like, maybe it was a little bit selfish, maybe a little bit egotistical if you want to take that route. Like, but
I
at the same
want him to
time,
be
I'm
like
just
that
like,
though, yo. Like
you
I'm
know what
not
I
trying to
mean?
have
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm not trying to have like no, I mean there's if you have like a torn hamstring and you know about it and like you're going out there knowing that you're probably not gonna pitch well, that's different. But like I would want Gerrit Cole to like want the ball. And that's exactly who he is. You know, like in terms of like bulldog pitchers, he's probably second to Max Scherzer, and that's it. Like this guy
Yeah.
wants the ball. He wants to stay in the game as long as possible. Makes you think. Remember that one quote after the game? It didn't get covered that much, but it was so funny. This is like in 2020. We was like Cole was like, he was all pissed. He was like getting asked from the reporters or whatever, like why he was he just seemed like glum after the game. He was like, I wanted to stay in the game, and that's the end of it. Like he was all pissed just about like how he was taken out too early. Like that's the kind of guy this dude is. Like he wants the ball, and I don't think we should want it like any other way.
Did you see all the Kermit stuff?
That is funny though, yo, because his voice does sound like Kermit the Frog. You know, it's funny. I never heard what he sounded like until I'm pretty sure the press conference after he signed. Which
See,
I don't know how that happened. I remember like, wait, that's what he sounds like. And at
I, I,
first
don't-
it's like, oh
I
my
don't
god, he
think
sounds like
so.
a was, but
I'm pretty sure you heard him kind of like when everyone else just about heard him after the
it was in
Astros got eliminated.
2019. It was in 20. Was it in 2019?
Yeah, when the Astros
Oh,
got
when he was
eliminated in
wearing the Boris
2019.
hat.
Yes, and then
Yeah,
everyone
then
kind
that
of heard
was
him
yeah.
speak for the first time because no one else
But
listened to Gerrit Cole's press conferences before then. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Also, too though, I may not have fully realized at that point because he was speaking in a more like monotone voice. Like when he was
Sure.
all like upbeat, like talking at his press conference, just like
Yo, but
he
also,
does
isn't
sound
it
like
so
Cole. It's
weird?
funny.
Dude, like you look at like side by side photos of like Houston Gerrit Cole and the Yankees Gerrit Cole. I know beard and long hair can change people's
Yeah,
appearance
makes you
drastically.
look worse.
The hell? All right,
Which
but
I have a beard coming in, bro. Go on.
you've been saying that for like 6 months, and I
No, but
see
I'm taking
nothing.
it seriously now. Go on, please. I want to hear this point.
No, I was just saying, like they look like two completely different people. And to be honest with you, I'll take bearded Gerrit Cole any day of the week.
Nah,
I'm
I
just
like
saying.
he looks a lot more professional with the clean shave.
Oh, Dan, I forgot.
Now,
You're Mr. Professional.
now if the long hair had to go too, then I'm totally with you. Like Astros Gerrit Cole looks better, but the fact that he looks like Anakin Skywalker, bro.
Let me ask you a question. Let's say Gerrit Cole says this offseason. He's like, you know what? Like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, I feel like if the Yankees let me grow out my beard and my long hair, I will be 10 times better of a pitcher next season. What would you say to that?
Well, that would be just as dumb as him, needing a personal catcher. But if I like knew that concrete, like that was the case, then sure, I don't care. Like if you
That's
need that
such
to
a lie.
perform.
You'd be so pissed off about it. You'd be like, wow,
No,
he's so
no,
unprofessional.
no. Him actually request like if he requests that in real life, like with how dumb that obviously is. I know you're joking, but like how dumb that is, like yeah, that would be stupid. But like in a world where for some reason that was true, and like I knew like that was accurate, like oh man, Cole actually will be a better pitcher with the beard. Then yeah, I would 100% be fine with him pitching with a beard.
Can I go back to one thing real quick? I know when we were talking about like the Yankees Red Sox before, you said that you think the Yankees are a better team than the Boston Red Sox, right?
Well, I mean, I'm saying like I think they're 100% even, and like on a given day, like yeah, the Yankees could be the better team. Like I think they're right around even, but the Yankees like could
Can I
end
tell
up
you
being
what
better.
though? I agree that kind of like on paper, the Yankees look like a much better team, right? As far as like the bullpen, the rotation, the lineup, I think on paper the Yankees look like a better team. But I think as far as like just like top to bottom, just like all around, I think the Red Sox might be a little bit better. I think also, like, Dan, you might not like to hear this, but like mentality wise and coaching wise, I think the Red Sox are 10 times better as well. One thing that I'm kind of like pointing to is let's say game 2 of the ALDS, right? The Yankees are at Tropicana Field. Yeah, they fall down, what, 5-0 in the first inning. I can guarantee you that Aaron Boone does not pull an Alex Cora and start walking up and down the dugout, being like, "Yo, like, come on, we're still in this. Like, we got this. Come on, everyone, muscle up." Like that just wouldn't happen. I can guarantee you that we would have probably thrown in like Albert Abreu, and we would have lost that game probably like 12-1. There's no way the Yankees would have won that game after being down 5-0. So I think just looking at like the Red Sox, I
Well,
think that they're kind of more. They have more heart. I want to say
I hate when people say that. I know what you're saying. Like they definitely have more of a fire in them, and
more
that
of a fire, sure.
I think that does stem from Alex Cora, and I agree with you on that. Yeah, no, Boone he definitely wouldn't be doing whatever you just described Cora did. But as for like the move itself, I mean, what did he do in the Walker game? I mean, he managed that game pretty well. I mean, he took Cole out not even an out into the third, I don't think, and then he put it.
Yeah.
Who did he put in? I forget. Who was it that he put in after two?
Was it Holmes?
It might have been home. So I mean,
I think
like
it was Holmes.
I think, and I tweeted this out the other day. and I'm not sure if we're getting into the whole Boone thing or not. I think we probably will because we haven't really
Yeah,
talked
no,
about it. But
100%.
yeah, I mean, I am not gonna be like losing sleep at all if Aaron Boone is brought back as manager. Now, if it were up to me, I would probably go with a change. Only reason I wouldn't would be if I know for a fact like there's not a better option available. Like if I think Boone's still my best option, all right, I'll bring him back. That's fine. But like reason being is I don't think Boone's a terrible in-game manager when he has to be. But the issue is that he feels like he has to be. He gets a sense of urgency too late. Like we
Sure.
saw late, besides like a clunker here and there, which believe it or not, every manager has. Like every manager will have a bad game or two. But towards the end, like I'd say probably like from the first or second week of September through the wild card game, he was pretty solid manager. Like when he showed that he had a sense of urgency, he made the right moves.
Except for in
So I
Boston.
feel like in Boston, the wild card game,
No, the series in Boston.
well, that was then he felt he was getting too cocky. Yo, he was
Yeah.
like, "All right, I'm the best manager in the world. Let me do this and that." But yeah, so and that's one of those things that we label under the clunkers category. So I mean, I think Boone, as long as they and I don't think they'll do this next year. Like I don't think they'll do the too many rest days and like trying to like what's that saying? Lose the battle to win the war with the bullpen. Like if they just tell Boone like, "Yo," or manage like you have a sense of urgency the entire year, I think he'd actually be a pretty good manager. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but I don't think that that's something that's like you could be taught. You know what I mean? Like I think that's just like a natural like killer instinct, and I
No,
don't think
but
Boone
that's
necessarily has
I'm
that.
not even. No, that's fair. But I look at killer instinct more so as like riling up the guys and like getting everybody together, like Core did. But
Okay, can we address like something as far as that goes, like being like the enforcer in the dugout? Because the Yankees fired Marcus. Well, didn't fire. They didn't renew the contracts of Marcus Timms and Phil Nevin, and also the assistant hitting coach. But pretty irrelevant. I'm sorry. Like if you're watching, I apologize.
not necessarily.
No, I get it. But what I'm trying to say here is that like Phil Nevin was kind of considered like the enforcer in the Yankees dugout, right? And now there's a bunch of reports that the Yankees are kind of looking to fill that hole as like the enforcer role because Phil Nevin was that guy. Also, apparently Phil Nevin was feeding Boone like in-game decisions, which this is something I want to go off about. But as far as like filling that enforcer role that Nevin filled, shouldn't that want to be like, why wouldn't you just want the manager to be the enforcer? Like, why should that be the role of the third base coach to not only be like the enforcer in the clubhouse and hold guys accountable, but also at the same time, why is Phil Nevin being blamed for like in-game decisions when Aaron Boone is the manager of this team?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's been a couple
Is
different
that
reports as
not
to why.
stupid?
No, I mean that's dumb. What more so catches my eyes, I'm not sure if you mentioned this or not, but like how I think it was the same article, but how what Cuddy's article today? What was that about with Boone? How they want to hire somebody that is in Boone's ear? Did you say that?
It looks like what they want to do is they want to hire someone who's kind of like a replacement for Nevin, right? Someone who's going to be like an enforcer in the dugout, kind of like Nevin was.
Okay, because that's what confuses me. I'm not sure if that's what you're getting at here, but like
Yeah,
that's what kind
100%.
of confuses me is that like if you're firing Nevin for his third base coaching, that's totally understandable to me, and not just because like he's had some questionable sense, but like as for being that guy, I mean, Nevin kind of was that guy. Like he really like he was the guy. Like, do you remember like we'd see
Yeah.
these clips of like I don't know if it was with the Glaber, but just a bunch of other guys. Like, if they weren't hustling, like if there was a guy that was yelling at him, it'd be Phil Nevin. So I mean, I don't know. It's kind of questionable to me. If I would have maybe removed him from the third base coaching and then like put him on the bench somewhere, like maybe not as a bench coach, but like I wish they kept him in the organization. Is what I'm saying. I like Phil Nevin.
Listen, dude, it's really weird. Like when you think about the whole thing, and that's why when you kind of said like you'd be cool with like sticking with Aaron Boone as the manager. See, that's where I disagree 100%. Simply because like we're looking at the Yankees kind of revamping the coaching staff. Who's at the top of the food chain as far as the coaching staff goes? It's Aaron Boone, right? And one of the guys that he did bring on was Phil Nevin. Okay, the other guy that he brought on was Josh Bard, right? Both are gone now. So clearly, Boone and his whole regime has not worked. So why would you not get rid of the ringleader at the top? And one analogy that I saw yesterday on Twitter, which I kind of thought like made some sense, was the chef one, right? Like what the Yankees are doing right now is like a restaurant's failing, the food sucks. Rather than like getting a new chef, they basically got rid of like a busboy and a waiter. Bro, in order to kind of like revamp the whole coaching staff, I think it ends with Boone. Like I think getting rid of Nevin and Tim's great start, but I still think there's more work to be done there.
Yeah, if they had a replacement in mind. Like I really wouldn't want to get rid of Boone
I think
unless you
I think
have
they could
somebody
give it a
in
shot
mind.
to interview other people and just kind of see what's around.
Yeah,
But that's my thing, bro. They might not want someone else. They might like the mentality that Boone brings. They might like the fact that they can just hand him a lineup and he'll rock with it. He's not going to cause any
that's
problems with
not
the
necessarily
media.
true. No, no, no. Well, that yeah, sure. But the report came out today that they a couple of things, and they were annoyed about this, that he didn't perfectly align with the analytical department. Like they wanted him to do something, he did something else. So I think it's quite clear that Boone did actually
Like
have like a
what though? Like
decent.
lineup
I'm not
construction?
sure. Maybe I would figure, yeah. But I think that's what we're starting to realize, is that Boone does actually have control of the lineup. Like he's given the information, and he does with the information. What the Yankees probably would do too, but I think ultimately in the end, it's in the hands of Boone. But I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of other teams now are apparently interested in Boone. Like if we don't resign him, then the Mets could get him, or the Padres could get him. Like he's kind of like a hot commodity now, which it does have you
Bro,
think.
he could be a commodity. Like
No, he is. No, and
no,
like we
no,
talked
I'm
about this.
saying he could be.
No, and I'm saying it's interesting because like he's kind of thought of as a really good manager, Aaron Boone. And maybe if we do hire the right guy behind him, because what was it? Don Zimmer was Torrey's bench coach, right? And he's considered to be like a huge part of those teams. Like it is important to have that second voice in your ear, Like
Dan,
if
I
we get
get
Boone
it.
the right guy, that could be the answer. That's
Here's
all I'm
my thing
saying.
though, right? So
Compared to hiring somebody that you don't already have in mind. Like if there's a perfect candidate out there, go out and get him, sure. But if not, you may want to go that route.
here's my thing though, right? We're kind of talking about Boone being a hot commodity. I get it. Cool. What makes Boone such like a valuable asset to a team? Like what track record has he shown where he's like, wow, this is a winning manager that I want to lead my club?
No, I know what you're
Because the
saying, but
regular season doesn't matter. Bro,
no, you're
you're
right. But
looking at a
you got to
manager
take
that in
Yankee fan out of it. You got to take Yankee fan out of it. It's like with the Padres and to the Mets, like Aaron Boone is considered
because
immensely
they don't watch him
successful.
on a daily basis.
Yeah, no, but Boone, no, he knows how to manage a game. He does. I'm sorry. The thing I'll say about Boone, and I know this is probably your main point about it, is like there was a clear like lack of being able to fire up his guys this year
Yes.
and to
Well,
keep
not
them
just this year. I
motivated.
think since he came over, bro. Like my whole thing though is like
Nobody
you
was
look at
complaining about him in 2019, though. At
well
least
because
going
dude
into
that team was just I
postseason.
don't think to be honest with you like dude that was just overachieving at its
And
finest.
that also was the year of the Savages too, with
That was
that rant.
that was a solid year by Boone. I'll
And
give
that
him that.
also, but also too, and this is like an actual conversation I feel like we should have more. Is like in terms of Boone, like it very is quite possible that Aaron Boone right now is a different Boone than back then, simply because he has a freaking pacemaker in, bro. Like maybe that all has to do with it.
Dude, and we mentioned this like going into this year, and like I don't think it's like insensitive, I don't know what the word is, to say that like maybe if like you have health problems, you shouldn't be the manager of the New York Yankees. Like if you can't get yourself like riled up and heated and kind of just do your job, maybe you shouldn't be doing it. And that's not like
Yeah.
rude to say at all. It's just kind
No,
of
yeah,
like
and obviously
worrying
we're
about his
just
health.
guessing when we say that. Maybe it doesn't affect anything, but like in the case that it does, and it's certainly a possibility. Like, yeah, no, like that is something to consider. Like maybe this guy isn't exactly fit to be, at least not the manager of the New York Yankees. Maybe he can go manage somewhere else.
Sure, where maybe
But
it's like a little more chill
so,
environment, like
but
San Diego.
yeah, to sum up where I stand on it, the reason I would fire Boone is not because of his in-game decisions. I actually trust his in-game instinct. It's just he might be a little bit too mellow, which you can blame
Sure.
the
And
Yankees for because that's what they wanted.
bro, I agree 1000%. And that's why like I do want to get rid of Boone because I just want the Yankees to be like the bad guys again. Like, you know what? Like, bro, I just want to be like the villain going into a season. Like, and I feel like as long as Aaron Boone is the Yankees manager, like, that's just not possible. Like, I wish we had Alex Cora as the Yankees manager where we could literally walk into a season and have a big red target on our backs. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's not like that anymore. No one fears the New York Yankees. They just don't.
Uh, yeah, no, yeah. Speaking of villains, though, are we gonna talk about?
I mean, this is going to be a topic of conversation all offseason, right? Carlos Correa. We could
Yeah,
touch on it right now if you want to.
yeah. I don't know if you want me to lead off with it, but
Go
yeah,
for it.
like, so for those who don't know, and Pat, I don't know if me and you have ever really talked about this. Maybe on the side, I was totally against Carlos Correa. One, for the fact that I thought it was pointless to ever think about because the Yankees wouldn't sign him. The players don't like him. Two, like I wasn't about it, yo. Like I don't know, and I don't blame anybody who feels currently the way I used to feel, but all of a sudden, yo, I'm just like, screw it. Like, I don't care if I don't like him. I don't care if the guy's a piece of shit. Like, I almost want him because he is a villain. Like, give me Carlos Correa. If it makes us a better team, and part of me wants to be like, yo, go sign all the most hated players in baseball. Let's go be like straight up the evil empire again. Like, I want people to hate us. And that almost makes it more interesting bringing on Carlos Correa. It costs a lot of money, and you would have to like make sure Judge is cool with it. And if he isn't, I totally understand. And once again, for those who are against it, saying like he's a cheater, and he is 100%. Like they're against it. I totally understand that, but like all of a sudden, bro, like I don't care anymore. Like I just want to win.
And dude, also like, here's my thing. Like, as far as like, listen, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, right? Would I love Carlos Correa on the Yankees? Like, as a person, probably not, right? But as far as like a player goes, I think one, he would be a great impact on the team as far as like on the field. But I don't necessarily see it happening. If I'm being like completely honest with you, on a scale of 1 to 10, if I see the Yankees handing over a big contract to a top shortstop, one, I don't see that happening like at all. Second of all, I think if they do give money to a top shortstop, it's not going to be Correa. So even though like I do kind of look at it and it intrigues me a little bit to think like, wow, we could get this villain shortstop and kind of like create a new like environment in the Yankees clubhouse. I just don't see it happening. And as far as like everyone mentioning maybe like, oh, like people in the Yankees clubhouse wouldn't mind it, I'm sorry. But if the guys in the Yankees clubhouse accepted like a Roldis Chapman, Domingo Herman, like you got to accept Carlos Correa just for who he is. You know what I mean? And I know it's a different situation, but to be honest, it's probably like less worse of a situation than what they've dealt with in the past. So I think if guys like Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, if they don't like Carlos Correa and they don't want him in the clubhouse, well, if he's kind of going to be a piece that can help you win a World Series, suck it up and deal with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear where you're coming from, but like at the same time, like I look at it the way I looked at, Cole and Bauer last year, obviously before all this stuff with
Yeah.
Bauer came out. But like you remember the whole little feud, like they didn't like each
No,
other.
100%.
And like if it was like a thing that like Gerrit legitimately despised Trevor Bauer, I don't have a problem with him like kind of saying that to Cashman, like, yo, I don't, or like Cashman knowing that and then choosing not to go after Bauer. I don't know. Like I think it's just like if one of your star players doesn't like him, and in this case, it's probably majority of baseball, and then most of the Yankee clubhouse at least doesn't like this guy. I would understand if they decided not to pursue him for that reasoning.
I mean, Judge would have to kind of have a one of the final words on that, right?
Oh,
Because
100%. Dude, I say this all
they
the
asked him
time.
about Stanton.
No, that's literally the point I brought up. Yeah, is that
Yeah.
like, and I don't know what
You think
Judge's
he would say
answer would
yes or
be,
no?
but
I think
I
he'd be
don't
cool with
know.
it, to be honest with you.
I can't see Judge saying no. Now, internally, like, he may not tell me this, he may hate it, but like, I also think like Judge truly is just about winning. So I think like any hate he has for Correa, he would make up with them. It'd be pretty
Yeah.
easy. And Correa apparently wants to, or he likes New York. You seen
Which,
the
I
clips?
mean, it could just be like negotiation tactics, like as far
No,
as like,
true, 100%. But like, and I don't ever read it saying like, oh, Carlos Correa says he likes New York. That means he's coming here. No, but
I feel like we've just heard that so much over the
no,
past few
we
years
have.
with
But
like,
people read way too much into it. Especially with cases like Harper and Machado, guys are already interested, sure. But like with Carlos Correa, all we would hear, or I've been seeing, is like, oh, his wife received death threats, blah blah blah. Not even a big deal, really. Just kidding. From New York,
yeah, bro,
but
I get that from Blue Jays fans all the time.
yeah. But with that said, people are like, oh, there's no chance he would go to New York. I think this at least shows like he's 100% like interested as he would be any other team. Like there's
Sure.
no, at least in terms of signing a contract, there's no actual bad blood from Carlos Correa's side to signing with the
Sure.
Yankees.
And I think also my kind of like final point on this would be the only reason why I also might kind of like Carlos Correa in the Bronx is just like I want to see someone be able to give like a post-game press conference and just be absolutely ruthless. You know what I mean? Like I just want him to be able to say anything that he wants. And I don't know if the
Let's
Yankees
get
will
this clear.
corrupt
This
him
is
into
this is
like
Judge's team still. Let's not
no,
get
it's
this
Judge's
twisted, yo.
team. But I
And that's
think
something that also keeps makes me happy. Where like if Carlos Correa is going to be acting up, which he never really does. I mean, like nobody actually had any issues with Carlos Correa up until the cheating scandal, and then we all did, rightfully so. But like it's not like he's shit. Who's an example here? Like like I can't think of a guy, but it's not like he
like
actually will
what are
have
you
like
like referring to?
well, I'm gonna say it's not like he like causes any actual like clubhouse drama. Like he's not
Oh,
like a
sure.
diva. There hasn't been any actual like issues. Like if you take the cheating scandal out of it, which is a huge thing to take out of it, but if you take that aside, like there's been no like blemishes on Carlos Correa's career as far as I remember, right? Like there haven't been any like
Not that I remember. I mean, bro, and
Yeah.
also like ridiculous postseason performer. Like,
Dude, and you know what? Finally, because I've been thinking about it, and the first thing, I forgot to mention this. The first thing that had me start to sway my opinion is like, all right, if I am not going to sign Carlos Correa simply because I don't like him, the consequence of that is one, I don't have him. Two, he could end up on a freaking the Red Sox. He could end up on the Blue Jays. He could end up on even him just staying with the
imagine you
Astros.
went
The
to the
Astros
Blue
would
Jays.
suck. That's what I'm saying. Like, unless he goes to like an NL team, and even that would kind of suck because we could face him in the World Series. But like, just the thought of him on another team, by us not signing him, that makes us, or makes one of our rivals possibly getting him. Like that screws us over big time. So like with that and the fact that he's a really good player, and then I watched him on I think it was Game 4 of the LDS, and like, bro, the dude just shows up, and I
I
like
know.
the vibe he has of being a villain.
I
And
know.
it's kind of like, because I'm like getting myself to kind of like Carlos Correa all of a sudden.
It's weird, right?
But like, I swear to God, the second he assigns with somebody else, which is probably gonna happen, I don't think the Yankees are gonna sign him. But once that happens, like, it's right back to I hate it.
It's so annoying simply because like, yo, I'm kind of like I've been watching like all the postseason games, right? As
Mm.
you've been as well. And I'm kind of like watching the Houston Astros, and it's getting to a point where, yo, I might get a ton of hate for this, but it's getting to a point where I'm kind of like, yo, like at some point, like I don't think we're ever gonna like respect the guys who cheated in 2017. But at some point, like you kind of have to like tip your hat to them and be like, yo, even without cheating, there's still a better baseball team than us.
Well, yeah, and it almost annoys me anytime somebody brings that up. Me and Kyle Condor would get into hugest arguments about this. Like, nobody ever denied the Astros were a really good team.
No,
Like the
people
Astros,
did though. Like people thought that they were gonna suck without cheating.
I mean, that was fun to play into. But anybody who actually thought Jose Altuve was a bad hitter, like that's or yeah, was a bad hitter was dumb. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, the thing that pissed me off about 2017 and any year that they cheated is not that all of a sudden they became a great baseball team because of cheating. No, absolutely not. But one, if it didn't benefit you, why would you use it? It clearly benefited them. I don't think even
Sure.
Astros fans would deny that. Obviously, it benefited them. That's why they used it. If they like the smallest advantage they got from it, whether it was in the postseason or it was a random RBI single in June in the regular season, one, I'm a big believer in the butterfly effect. So everything was altered after that one RBI single that you got an advantage from. And two, like them like winning the division, seeding, like everything would have been different had they not cheated in
I agree.
2017, possibly in 2019. So regardless of the fact that they're a really good team, they clearly had advantages from it. And the fate of that season, either positively or negatively, would have been different if they didn't cheat.
No, for sure. And that's
So
why like I kind of look at them and I'll kind of never look at them the same. But also at the same time, it's like, yo, at some point you kind of gotta just let it go. You know what I mean? But yo, shout out to Danny with the $10 dono. Appreciate it so much, Danny. You're a legend. Danny the legend, even though he's got like a little ski mask profile picture, a little bit
yeah.
sketch, but that's fine. He says, "Sub fellas, honestly, the New York Yankees front office needs to wake up and make moves this offseason. If D Boss was still alive, he'd fire everyone. The AL East is filled with savages. Toronto, Tampa, and Boston are just going to get better. And that's why I'm also like a little bit nervous, like going into 2022. I think going into 2022, unless the Yankees make like some ridiculous moves this offseason. Now I'm saying like sign like 2 top free agents and make some solid trades. This is probably going to be the season I'm like least confident going into, probably since like 2017. Just because the competition in
Yeah.
the AL East is so ridiculous, and because of like just the poor performance we've seen in the last 2 seasons now.
No, I agree. I think somebody's really going to fall off next year. I think one of these 4 teams, whether it's the Ray, and it could be any of them, the Rays, Blue Jays, Yankees, and Red Sox. I think we could see like one of them just go out and like lose 90 games next year. Like I think it's going to cave in for one of those teams. I could see it being the Rays. I could see it being the Red Sox. Same way I look at the Giants and think like, man, everything went right for them this year. I could see them falling back next year. I could see it happen with the Red Sox and the Yankees too. You know,
If the
but
Red Sox win the World Series, they'll fall back next year because then they'll just
well,
trade
that's just
everyone away, you
history.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
facts. But I think the Yankees actually are going to be in for a big offseason. We reset the
I
tax,
hope so.
and two, looking back, anytime that something like catastrophic has happened and in Yankee land, that's either missing the playoffs or getting eliminated in, say, like a wild card game. Besides, actually, after 2015, we didn't have a crazy all. We had a pretty good offseason, but I think crazy. But after
Did we?
2008,
We didn't do anything after 2015. We just got like Starlin Castro.
no, we made a couple of nice moves. John Cash at the time was nice, and we also got
No, it was, but it wasn't
we
like
got Chapman too. It was like nice
yeah.
upgrades. But what I was saying is, at least after 2008, we spent like 500 mil in free agency with Tex. We got Swisher, CC, AJ, and then after 2013, the first year they missed the playoffs since 08, they went out and got. I mean, they were bad moves, but they got Ellsbury, they got Tanaka, they got Beltran, they got McCann. Spent like another 500 or so million. I think this past season is another thing like that where it's just like the emergency alarms are going off, where like we have to make changes, and that's what actually has me kind of excited with. I think the Yankees are going in a good direction here. From all reports, it sounds like they're actually starting to realize they have like a philosophical issue. Like they need to just change up the way they do things. And with the coaching firings and something I want to touch on, bro, me and you talked about it on the phone, but we didn't talk about it on here. One of the reasons they're firing the hitting coaches is because they feel like their minor league staff and the major league staff, their hitting philosophies aren't like the same wavelength. They want to really start preaching what they preach down in the minor leagues. And the reason that's important is our minor leagues tore the cover off the ball this year.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's only like 1 year or so, but like if we're going to be taking that philosophy that seemed to work really well this past year, bring it up to the major leagues or trying to get guys with like the same thinking, that could be huge. And then, the fact that we reset the tax and we're coming off like a really, really shitty season. Like, I feel like the Yankees are all of a sudden like feeling like the sky is falling almost and they got to like correct it. Hopefully.
But like, that's what we've been hoping for, right? And I think all the people were kind of like
I
clamming
don't know,
for.
though. Like, what do you mean by like when have we ever like this offseason is different? Like, going into 2021, we thought 2020 was an aberration and that we were World Series favorites, and we were at the time.
Yeah.
Our favorites to go to the World Series. After or going into 2020, we just signed Gerrit Cole. I'm pretty sure we were the favorite to win the World Series. Like we were like up against the Dodgers as like the clear best team in baseball.
I feel like it's been like every year for the past like 4 years.
And that's what I'm saying. Like this is the first time. You know, I know we feel like we're suffering Yankee fans because we are, but like this is the first time where it feels like kind of like the roof's caving a little bit. You know. So that's why.
But also at the same time, I think it's warranted though. Like this is what we've been waiting for all 2021.
It is. No, it's warranted 100%. But like that's what I'm saying. Like for the first time, this is warranted. So like for in a while, like with this core at least. So like there's no like past evidence you can go off and be like, oh, they didn't have a great offseason that year, so they're not going to do it this year. No, like the last time this really happened, and you know, let's throw out 2015 before when I said that when we got eliminated in the wild card game, because like it was a totally different vibe with the team. Like we weren't expecting to be like we went into this year's World Series favorites. That team was like, oh, we might reach the playoffs while our young guys are coming up in a year or two. So like really the last time a situation like this happened, you'd have to go back to the 2013 season. And then we spent all that money in free agency, go back to 08, spent all that money in free agency. So I think like while we may not spend 500 mil, like I do think we're going to go out and get a top free agent. I do think we're going to get a shortstop, whether it's like a stopgap guy, which they're not really out there unless you try and get Angela Simmons, which that would be terrible. I think it's going to end up being, I think it's going to end up being Corey Seager. Now the number that I came up with, some people are saying it's a little low. Some people are saying it's probably accurate. Corey Seager, I don't think he's going to get over 200 mil. I have him 7 years, 168 mil. Opt out after 30. That gives him like 24 mil a year.
I was going to say I'd be cool with like 5 and 150.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be something like I don't know if he's going to get 30 mil a year. So what's 5 and 150?
Yeah, but I'd rather do like less years and give him more money.
Sure. No, 100%. But also
just because,
too,
dude, like he's kind of like injury prone too. Like we know that.
Not necessarily. I looked at it. It's kind of, it seems like almost like a Judge situation in a way. Let me pull up his Fangraphs page because he
didn't we talk about this earlier? Like when the season was going on, we were talking about Corey Seager.
Probably during like the trade deadline.
Probably.
Or so. I know he's missed games, but like, I mean, this year 95. So what do you have? Did he have a broken wrist this year? I forget. But anyways, like take a look at this.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So he was definitely injured this year. That's for sure. Whatever it was. Last year he played 52 out of the 60 games. 2019 he played 134. Probably had an IL stint, but 134 games. I'd take that. 134 games. Now in 2018, and this is kind of like the outlier here. So if you're looking at like averages, this really brings it down. He only played 26 games. I forget what the injury was, but I guess it was pretty bad. Only played 26 games. Then in 17, 145 games. 16, 157 games. So I mean, he's really played full seasons 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the last 6 years. So I mean, like
so you're basically saying it's a Judge situation.
Well, I don't know what if Corey Seager like broke his wrist this year. Maybe it was like a soft tissue injury. I don't know. So not exactly a Judge. I don't know. But yeah, I mean it's overblown at least in my opinion. So like that doesn't exactly scare me with Corey Seager, and he's played well in the postseason at least a couple times. Didn't he win World Series MVP last year? Left-handed bat. So. Only thing that was I don't want to say scare me about Corey Seager, but him a little bit timid is his defense isn't great, but it's also not like god awful either.
No, sure. I mean, my only concern would be like Volpe coming up, right? Because I don't think he'll be up
Yes.
next year, but like the year after. So then what do you do in that scenario? Do you move Volpe to another position or you move Seager to
To
another
me,
position?
that is not an issue because you would just do what you did with Gleyber. Now
Yeah, but you
if
saw how that worked out.
well, I don't know because Gleyber's never like a phenomenal shortstop coming up, anyways. But I was gonna say I don't know if the Yankees believe them doing that made Gleyber a worse shortstop. If that's the case, then you don't do that with Volpe. Like, still look at Volpe as your shortstop in the future. And if you think moving him to second base would mess it up, then all right, play Volpe. Really, whoever's a better defender coming up, like, or when Volpe comes up, whoever's a better defender at that point should play shortstop. Whoever else, just go to second base. So
Yeah.
Corey Seager could play second base. And I would really throw in that opt out. One, because it sounds appetizing for Corey Seager. And two, because there's a chance he would legitimately use it. Like, if you give Corey Seager, if he's getting a 7-year deal and you give him an opt out at age 30 after 3 years, high chance he takes that. All he has to do is have a great year at age 29 going to 30. Somebody else would probably give him a 7-year deal. And at that point, it's totally fine because you got Volpe to play short anyways.
Bro, I'm literally open to anything this offseason. Like, I'm literally viewing like every single player on the Yankees roster like as to being expendable, besides like Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Gerrit Cole. Like, other than that, I think every single person I'd be willing to make a deal for. Can you think of anyone else that you wouldn't be open to?
Oh, I mean, I think you got to try to trade Gio, unless they don't. I mean, only thing I'll say about Gio is that if you decide you do want to go for like a stopgap shortstop, then you might as well just keep Gio and have him play short. I think he can hold on the position just fine. But if not, I don't think you go into next season with Gio Urshela as your starting third baseman. Really, because like you got to start getting production at third base. Like, Gio's nice and all, and like if we were getting 2019 Gio, like all right, I'll 100% take that. And last year Gio too. But like this past year, like I'm just gonna go by the first half because the second half he was kind of injured and stuff, and he finished the year well. But like even when he was playing consistently for the first half, like he was right around like a little above league average. Like we need more than that at a third base. So whether that's trading Gio and then DJ plays there, I don't know. I mean, I guess you would kind of have to if Clipper's playing second. So you kind of got to do something.
Bro, I just don't want DJ to be your first baseman going into next year. I just don't, bro.
That would be bad. Well, I want Rizzo to come back.
I do too, but I don't think
really bad actually. And there's a couple things. I mean, one, I think this is probably like the worst year Rizzo. This past year is probably going to be the worst year Rizzo will have over the next like 3-4 years. Like he was a down year, but he's still actually pretty solid numbers. And two, like we keep hearing about like the Yankees need to get better clubhouse presence and culture. Like getting rid of Anthony Rizzo does not help that at all. Like that's a guy you point at and you're like, all right, you're staying. Like we need to keep you. Now I'm not saying like a blank check by no means, not at all. But now, I mean, the Cubs apparently offered him an extension for like 70 mil, and he turned that down. My offer that I came up with him before I found out about that was 4 years, 65. That's what I came up with. It's on like 16, 17 mil a year. And people would be like, oh, no, he won't sign for that because he turned down 70 mil. Well, he may not get 70 mil. Like, I don't know where.
He's not going to, bro.
I think if he might get like right around 70, but not more than that. Like, I don't
even see him
like
getting,
he may have been silly for turning down that 70 million. Like Anthony Rizzo is not a 25 million a year player.
But also at the same time, like maybe he turned down that extension because he doesn't want to stay in Chicago. Like maybe he doesn't want to go through.
Yeah, but that would be contrary to everything we've heard is that I don't even know if that's true actually, because
but that's what I'm saying. We haven't heard that from
people
Rizzo.
always say, "Oh, he's going back to Chicago." And now that I think about it, like when have we heard Jack? Like, no, I don't know if that's actually true or not. That he definitely is going to go back to Chicago. People have been saying that, so I think we have a shot at signing him.
I think it's just Cubs, bro. It's the same people that said he hated being in New York, and every time we saw Rizzo in the dugout, he's literally just having a great time.
You know what that is? And I'm not even going to blame Cubs fans for doing it because I would probably do it too if like Judge got traded. Like that's just Cubs fans trying to like.
So it's possible.
No, not at all. But there's like jealous in a sense. They try to like make the situation miserable. I don't know. But I just can't see a world where Rizzo gets like 100 mil. No shot.
No,
maybe maybe 80. And if that's the case, I would probably sign Rizzo for 4 and 80. What would that be? Even that's tough. I don't know if he's gonna get 80, bro. I don't.
There's no chance. I'd literally give Anthony Rizzo like 3 years, 50 million.
Yes, I think he will get 4 years though. I think
I'd give him 4, and just like you said, would you say 65?
65, which is right around like 16 mil a year or something like that.
I think he takes that. Maybe in like end of January, maybe he like feels out the market a little bit. But my problem is I don't even think the Yankees go for it. I think it's kind of like a McCutchen kind of thing where it's kind of just like a half a year and then it's kind of just game over. I think the Yankees see DJ LeMahieu. He's under contract for the next 5 years or something like that. Where are you going to play DJ? because Glaber's taking over second. If you
thinking
keep
about it,
Gio,
I think this is why I said there's no way Gio Urshela is the Yankees starting third baseman next year because one, he's going to go to shortstop and be just like their temporary stopgap for the next year or so till Volpe.
you think?
I'm saying that would be how Gio would still be on the team, and then in that case, DJ plays third. No matter what, Gio's going to have to play third. He's going to have to play third because Glaber's playing second, and they're either going to get a shortstop or Gio's playing there.
No, bro. I think kind of what we're forgetting, what it's very possible that they could do, even though I don't think it might
Void
happen.
And play DJ at first.
No, they start Void at first, put DJ at third, and then have Gio be your shortstop. That's possible.
Well, yeah, no, that's possible. Well, that's what I was saying. Like, if Gio is the shortstop, then DJ would play third.
I forgot Luke Void existed.
So, I just automatically assume he's being traded.
Same.
Like, that's just part of like my thinking is that okay, Luke Void is gone essentially.
Bro, are you viewing it the same way like you viewed Sonny Gray going into that one offseason where it's kind of like we're automatically assuming he's not going to be on the team and he's probably just going to be traded for pennies?
I'm a step below that only for the fact that like Cashman literally came out and said he's probably going to find a new home for Sonny Gray. But like yes, like I'm getting there. Like it's
I'm close to it.
Yeah. Can I read you my because I did
Don't tell me it's another lineup.
No. Well, there's a lineup in it, but I won't read you that. On my Google Doc for the video I made, my perfect offseason blueprint. Can I just read it to you?
Go for
quick?
it, yeah.
Okay, now it's a little bit like me fucking like writing a list of Santa almost, but here we go. Resign Anthony Rizzo, 4 years, $65 million, which was 16.25 per year, by the way. That's the exact math. Yeah, sign Corey Seager, 7 years, 168, opt out after 3. Replace coaching staff for the most part. Do your absolute best to trade one of. I said, if not both, Aroldis Chapman and Zach Britton. Britton, I forgot he had Tommy Johnson. He's out for the year. Yeah. So really just try to trade Chapman. Sign Kevin Gausman. Now, you're not going to like the number on this, but he's going to be worth it, and I'm willing to pay it if I were House Steinbrenner. 5 years, $112 million. Number 6, stick with Gary Sanchez unless a better opportunity presents itself. 7, try and acquire Ketel Marte from the Diamondbacks without giving up Anthony Volpe. And I say that like stiffly, like there's no shot I would give up Anthony Volpe, but he's going to get a big return. Then, if no Marte, exercise Gardner's option, roll with Hicks as the starting center fielder, which I keep forgetting. I think a lot of people are forgetting about Hicks. Like this, what I'm saying here is, and the last one is sign Aaron Judge to an extension, name him captain. But what a lot of people are forgetting is about Hicks. I feel like I would go and try and get a center fielder. Like in this case, Ketel Marte, who's actually kind of shaky on defense, so it's a little bit iffy, but he's insane offensively. If you went and got Ketel Marte, all right, then Aaron Hicks is your fourth outfielder. You decline Brett Gardner's option, and then Hicks is what would be a guaranteed injury away from starting. Like Hicks would have that possibility. If Hicks goes in the next year as the fourth outfielder, he'll have the opportunity, I guarantee, to start 130 plus games. So I'm not even worried about. But if they can't get Ketel Marte, like if you try your best to get a center fielder without giving up like Volpe or Peraza, anything like I'd give it Peraza. But if you try and you fail, then I'm fine going with Hicks. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that the Yankees, we need to go into this season with like a legitimate center field option because this is going to be the third year in a row where we're kind of like going into the season thinking that Aaron Hicks is going to be the center fielder. Bro, at some point you kind of just got to look at the past and be like, this is not a smart thing to do. And the backup cannot be Brett Gardner. It just can't be because we saw what happened in 2021. We knew that Aaron Hicks was going to get injured, but kind of like the next guy in line was probably Mike Tauchman. But then you trade Tauchman like right before Hicks got injured. So then Gardner was that guy. I think you have so many other options to go with as far as center field goes. Like I'm so down with the Ketel Marte thing. Maybe even go out, maybe sign Starling Marte. I'd be down for that too. Maybe look at the other center field options out there. And then you could kind of keep Aaron Hicks as like a fourth outfielder because then at that point you don't necessarily have to like bank on his health as much as you would if he would go into the season as your starter. And also you have Greg Allen. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't too fond of him, but I think Greg Allen would be a solid fourth outfielder, switch hitter, solid tools.
I could see them making a play at Kiermaier. He's a free agent. Apparently.
He's a free agent?
Somebody saw that to me. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but somebody told me he's a free agent.
If he is, get me Kevin Kiermaier.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that. And then I would say like a platoon, but then like whenever somebody gets injured, because Hicks will start games regardless. Like even if he's not like the starting outfielder, like Hicks is going to start games, and that's fine. If Aaron Hicks is healthy, even though he was bad in the beginning of this year, like I still think he'll be pretty productive. So yeah, I mean, getting a center fielder, that's not priority number one for me. But like,
no, it's not. But it's a priority.
If you can do it 100%. Like if you can get, I mean,
I feel like it's just a whole every year, bro.
Yeah, and it's because Hicks is hardly ever there. I mean,
so then you got to stop banking on him every year.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you. But also, like, like if I had to pick, like, get a shortstop or get a center fielder, get a shortstop. But like if you can, like I said, if you can go out and get a center field.
Yo, speaking of,
I was just, what about the starting pitcher point? I'm not set on Kevin Gausman. Now I'd really like him because he could be like a number 2 to Cole, and then Sevy could be the 3. But there's also like Carlos Rodon. There's a couple actually pretty solid starters. What I really want this year is I don't even care how good they are. Like even if they're right around like a career average like 4 ERA pitcher, give me a guy that just makes 33 starts. Like every 100% of his career has made or majority of his career has pitched to 33 starts almost every single year, and like it's just going to give you a solid start every 5 innings, maybe. Yeah, like even if it's like a 4 ERA pitcher, that's fine with me. Just get like a consistent, established arm.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think the Yankees are necessarily gonna go out and get like a number 2 like Gausman, simply because I think they're banking on Severino to be that guy. I really think they are.
That's kind of. I'm totally for banking on Severino to come back. Like I think,
but I think they're gonna bank on him as a number 2.
Like being effective standpoint, like I don't know, like I'm not. I think Severino will be healthy next year. Like I think he'll be able to perform and very well could bounce back like a number 2. But like at this point, it's been so long that like even though he looked good out of the bullpen for sure, like it's been so long that he's been a starter that like I don't get worried about like the health stuff necessarily. It's just like the performance. Like, can we actually expect Luis Severino to be a number 2 next year? It's possible.
I'm not, but I mean it's possible, like you said. But I'm not. I wouldn't go into the season banking on him being that. But I don't know.
I would get Gausman, bro. Ray scares me. Robbie Ray, like he just seems like bound to regress. Sure. I haven't looked at the peripherals of it, so like I don't have any fact going into that. But it's just like I never like signing guys that like. I mean,
are coming off years, like career,
but
years.
like yeah, and where like they established their market by one,
like a Marcus Semien,
you know. Yeah, at the time. Well, Marcus Semien, he had a couple of good years. I thought you were talking about a couple of years.
No, but this year's like a heavy outlier.
Yeah, no, for sure. But at least Semien, like he showed that he can. I guess Ray too. I mean, Ray had a couple of good years, right, and then he just fell off for some reason. Like he was terrible for like 2 years.
I mean, but never like a Cy Young like candidate.
So I mean, Ray maybe wouldn't be a bad option then, because then the upside is a number 2, and the downside is probably like a number 4. And there's also the possibility. Tanaka, he has an opt-out. I would definitely be willing to take him back. Also because, I don't want to be like talking like we got to pinch pennies here, but unfortunately we kind of do with the Yankees.
Which is weird, but
yeah. He'd probably only make like 10, 11, 12 mil a year, Tanaka.
If Tanaka came back, I'd be down for that. But I'm not like getting my hopes up until he's like, yeah, I want to come back to the States, because dude, he just left a year ago.
And that's like that's like almost exactly what I described before. Like what did I say? What did I say I want? Pitcher that'll make 32 starts this year. 30, like right around 30 plus starts, and could be like around a 4 ERA pitcher. That's not. We've had a pretty good year in Japan. I saw he had like a 2.9 ERA.
I'd love him. I love.
And what did I always say about Tanaka too? I'm not sure if you remember this, but if you're a true friend, you will, because I said it every single year. The Yankees.
Wait, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. You didn't even give me a chance.
I actually don't think you get it, but it's about Tanaka. My philosophy on the rotation.
So your philosophy is that Tanaka isn't necessarily an ace, but he's a go-to guy in the postseason.
Okay, well that's not wrong. I mean, like that's not what I was gonna say, but that's a thought I have. Yeah. Well, I always say Tanaka, like even if he gave up 12 earned runs last week, I count on him to give me a solid effort this week. That's what I'm saying. I always say the Yankees should make the rotation, or the Yankees should build a rotation that has Masahiro Tanaka as a number 4 starter, like where it's good enough that he's a number 4 starter, and that's like an absurdly good rotation. I think past mistakes that we've made with Tanaka is like just always having him be like the go-to number 2 guy. Whereas if you have him as your number 4, like if your rotation's deep enough to be your number 4, which if they signed him and Severino is like decent, like that's essentially what he would be. I mean, you could have Sevy. If you had to have Sevy as your number 2, okay, and then your 3 would be Monty. And then your 4 is Tanaka, and then the 5th would be, I guess, Cortez or Heel.
Tyone.
Did I forget Tyone?
Yeah, you forgot Tyone.
Oh, fuck it. Then obviously, yeah, Tyone. Shit, Tanaka could almost be the number 5 if Tyone's pitching well.
Yeah, I guess Nestor would be in the bullpen. I don't know. But, one thing I want to talk about as far as, like, the center field situation, bro, it wouldn't be an episode of the Pat and Dan Show unless I bring up Brett Gardner. Can I tell you something that really pissed me off? Because, like, dude, we haven't talked since the wildcard game. I'm so tired of this Brett Gardner pity party every single season after the Yankees get eliminated. I know you disagree. You're going to be like, Fatty's the heart and soul of this team. I'm tired every year after the Yankees get eliminated. He pops on his little post-game press conference. He's like, I really hope that they let me come back next year. Oh, Brett Gardner won't take off his uniform in the clubhouse. This might be
The
the
dude
last
likes
time.
being a Yankee, bro.
Bro, I'm tired of the pity party every year where he cries hoping to come back. Like, dude, just announce retirement and just dip. That's all I'm asking for. You're not good
Gardner
anymore.
finished well to end the year, bro.
He
I
did,
can't
but
do
it's the
Brett Gardner
same
with you no
story
more.
every year. He sucks for the first 5 months, and then he's good for the last month. Earns himself a postseason spot. Does nothing in the postseason. Then he comes back the next year. Same thing every year, bro. I'm tired of the pity party though. Like either come back or don't. You know what I mean? This
I
pity
understand you
party
don't
every
like.
year, bro.
I understand you don't like Brett Gardner, Pat.
No, it's not that. I don't like the pity parties.
Okay, no more
You
pity
don't see
parties.
Judge doing that.
Judge is 29. He's not retiring, bro.
Bro, you don't see Corey Kluber throwing a pity party.
Oh, I didn't give you the terms of my extension. Do you want to hear them?
Yeah, give me, bro. If it's $300 million, I'm literally exiting the call right now.
It's not 300 million.
Okay.
If you were 26,
what if 400?
Yes. No. Okay. 266 over 7. That would make him the highest paid position player in baseball history, and then you name him the 15th captain in Yankees history. Which that's no. That's what. No. That's not being silly. It's same like the quarterback, where it's like okay, this guy isn't as good as so
How
and
much
so,
a
but
year
it's
is
his
that?
time. 38 mil.
Dan, why are you giving Judge almost $300 million over 7 years?
Dude, that's what he's going to get on the market. Now, that's not
Judge is not going to get $38 million on the market.
Yes, he will. He's going to get. It's the same as if Mookie Betts went on the market.
Dan, how much a year did Bryce Harper get?
No, you cannot factor. No. You cannot use Bryce Harper because they gave him one that was 3 years ago. This is different. Two,
oh, he's going to be 30.
They put it over 13 years, so he only makes 25 mil a year. Put it like this: it's 30. Like right now, the highest paid player in baseball is 36 million a year. Now he could give the Yankees a hometown discount for sure, not factoring that in. But like what Judge is worth essentially right now his agent would try to make him the highest paid position player a year.
Dude, you're not giving Judge $38 million in an extension. If he was on the free agent market and you're kind of competing with other teams, and that's kind of like the price point you have to go to, sure. But like, bro, you're giving him $38 million in an extension. His market is not going to be 38 mil. I can guarantee you that.
No, it will be.
Judge will get
that's what he'll be asking.
Max.
No.
Yes,
bro. No,
Judge is not going to become the highest paid player in baseball. I can guarantee you that.
No,
we can make a bet right now.
That would make him the highest.
You just said.
No, for position players, because Bauer makes like 41. He make like it's like just past Mookie Betts. That's what it'll ask.
Yeah,
but if Aaron,
we have our own opinion, but I think it's crazy.
No, you think so, but like, do you think Aaron Judge is going to seek less than Mookie Betts per year on the market?
No, but well, how much is Mookie Betts making actually?
He makes like I think he makes 36, 37. Let me see. I'm pretty sure he's the number one. Let me see.
Well,
highest.
Also, when Mookie Betts signed his contract, he was also much younger than Judge.
No, I'm saying per year. Like,
I don't know, dude. All I know is I would not be. It's not my money, but I don't think Aaron Judge is worth $38 million. I don't think he's worth the highest paid position player in baseball. I don't.
Highest is 36. So even if you go 37, even if you go 37 million a year, because Judge is one of the best players in baseball. When it's his time, his market value will be the highest paid position player per year, because that's what the market dictates. Same with.
I just don't see him getting that in an extension.
But that doesn't mean it doesn't mean he's better than. That's fair. No, that's fair. But it doesn't mean he's better than like Trout. It just means inflation, which is how this shit works.
Inflation, man.
266 over 7. Book it. Ain't my money.
Yo, before we wrap things up today, you have anything you want to touch on, like kind of like life goes, like we usually do? I actually have something. I have a question for you, actually. What is that your front door behind you that your bed is blocking? Like, why is there like 17 locks on it?
Oh, that's just how. Oh yeah, my bed is blocking because I moved it sideways. I was doing something before, but
your bed is so that's your front door.
Yeah.
Oh,
so my bed's not like no. My bed's not normally like that when I open the door. But yeah, I'm trying to.
Because I was gonna say, Dan, how do you
the reverse has
enter
messed
and
up.
leave?
Here we go. There's 1 lock, 2 lock, and then there's the bolt lock. I only like have the bottom one locked though. That's how apartments
you shouldn't be saying that.
No, when I'll sleep, I'll lock them both. Bro, why is my camera like reversed? I swear I'm moving the wrong arm. But yeah.
Okay, wait. So I'm confused. So why is your bed like that now?
No, my bed will go here. My bed
So you
normally.
twist your bed when you go to sleep at night.
Yeah, I do. Because it's like aligned with this thing. If I had my laptop, it'd be so much easier to show, bro. But it's impossible right now.
So every year before bed, you're like, wait, I gotta do a little twist, and then you twist it back to its normal spot. Is it on wheels?
Yeah, I
at
think
least?
so. Yeah.
Okay. So it's not that
I
bad.
spin it around because it's more comfortable that way. Because if not, this is like the little eighth seat thing. It's like slightly against my knee, so I just don't like it. And like when I'm in for the night, like I know I'm not going anywhere now, then I just twist it for good.
Can you like show us how you twist it?
No, I'm not showing you how I twist my bed. I just pull the tail end by.
Yo, not so family fun vision. Wanted to see you twist it, bro.
I can't twist it, bro.
I was just a little bit concerned because I saw a door with a lot of locks. I was like, I hope that's not a closet.
Where do you think I was?
I don't know.
Dude, a closet with locks. I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
That's why I was a little bit curious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anything else new?
Are you trying to get something? I mean, like what?
What?
You're trying to get something out of me? Like, what do you mean?
No,
No,
dude.
no.
Every time before we wrap up the show, we're literally
we
just
do?
like,
oh, I like bullshit, but I thought I was
Yeah.
like in trouble or something.
no.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm still gluten free, kind of. I had McDonald's before.
So then you're not gluten free, bro. Because McDonald's definitely has gluten.
No, the bun does. Yeah, no, my rule is like I don't eat anything at home that's gluten free. So like when I go grocery shopping, it's all when I go grocery shopping, it's all gluten free stuff. Like there's no gluten and no dairy
good.
either. But like if I'm eating out like today, I had a headache today because I went the whole day without coffee, so I had a caffeine thing. I was like, I need a freaking Coke Zero, so I got a Coke Zero. And I went to the liquor store across the crib and got this lemon lime Gatorade, best flavor.
At the liquor store?
Yeah, first time being there, and it's like a deli too.
Cool.
Yeah, bro. I think I was really nice. It was.
Dan, what the hell? All right, well, listen, I don't have anything else. But yo, that's gonna wrap things up for today's episode of the Pat and Dan Show. Appreciate you all for stopping by. You guys are all legends. As far as the Pat and Dan shows goes moving forward, we should get back on some sort of consistent schedule after the postseason ends. But until then,
so we gotta take a quick 2 to 3 week. What's the word?
Hiatus.
Yeah,
hiatus. But yo, chat.
Hiatus.
I'll still be here. Pat and Dan Show probably just gonna be a little bit sporadical up until the offseason. Then we'll kind of
Dan's a piece of shit.
Because Dan's a bum and doesn't like you guys, but that's okay. Dude. Diet Coke is carbonated air, in the words of Dan. But yo, I'll see you guys next time. I'm not gonna be watching the ALCS. Probably not. I don't know. I always say that, and then I always end up watching it. I don't know. But yo, I'm
not watching. Wait, what's the score right now? It started, didn't it?
Yo, we're just like, we're not gonna watch. But what's the score? I think the Red Sox are winning.
3-1.
Yes, they're gonna win the World Series. That's fine. But yo, appreciate you all for stopping by. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. You guys are all awesome. I'll see you guys next time for a little Unhinged Live, hopefully with like breaking news that the Yankees have a new manager. I don't know. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. See you all next time. Peace.